This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to Max and Mia podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mia, and this is my co-host, Max. We're absolutely thrilled to have you with us today.
That's right. Whether you're listening while having your morning coffee, walking to work, or just relaxing at home, we're so grateful you chose to spend this time with us.
You know what? We believe in you. Every single day you're getting better at English. And that's something to celebrate. Learning a language takes courage, and you're doing amazing.
Absolutely. And speaking of amazing, today we want to talk about something really special. Something that connects all of us no matter where we're from.
Family. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, family vocabulary? I learned that ages ago. Mother, father, sister, brother.
Exactly. But here's the thing. We want to challenge you today. Sure, you might know the basic family words, but can you really describe your relationships with your family members?
Right. Can you tell someone about your mom's personality? Is she patient or impatient? Outgoing or shy? What about your siblings? Are they supportive or competitive?
And here's our question for you today, dear listeners. Think about your closest family member. Now, imagine you had to describe their personality to a new friend. Could you do it in English using rich, detailed vocabulary?
Be honest with yourself. Can you explain if your dad is laid back or strict? Whether your sister is reliable or unpredictable? If your grandmother is wise or stubborn? Or maybe both?
If you're thinking, I'm not sure I could do that confidently, then this episode is perfect for you. We're going to explore vocabulary that will help you paint a real picture of the people you love most.
And if you're thinking, yes, I can totally do that. Well, stick around anyway. We bet you'll discover some fantastic new words and expressions that will make your English even more colorful and natural.
Because let's be real, talking about family isn't just about saying, "This is my brother." It's about sharing stories, explaining relationships, and connecting with people on a deeper level.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into the wonderful, complex, and sometimes crazy world of family relationships and personalities.
Trust us, by the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to describe your family members like never before. Are you ready?
So, Jake, we've been chatting for a while now, but I don't know much about your family. Do you have any siblings?
Oh, yeah. I have two sisters, one older, one younger. What about you?
Just one brother. He's 3 years older than me. Are you close with your sisters?
Well, it's complicated. My older sister Emma is amazing. She's super supportive and always gives great advice. But my younger sister, let's just say she can be quite dramatic sometimes.
Oh, I know that feeling. My brother can be really stubborn. How often do you see them?
I try to visit my family every couple of months. Emma lives in the same city, so I see her more often. Maybe twice a month for coffee or dinner. What about your family? Do you live close to them?
Not really. They're about 4 hours away by car, so I usually go home every 6 weeks or so. Sometimes I feel guilty that I don't visit more often, you know?
I totally get that. Do you enjoy going back home, or does it feel like an obligation?
It's a mix, honestly. I love seeing my parents. My mom is incredibly warm and welcoming. She always cooks my favorite meals and asks about everything in my life. But my dad, he's quite reserved and sometimes critical about my choices.
That sounds challenging. What kind of things does he criticize?
Typical parent stuff. My career, why I'm not married yet, why I moved so far away. He means well, but he can be pretty old-fashioned. What are your parents like?
My parents are actually really laid back. My dad is this cheerful guy who loves telling jokes, sometimes terrible ones. My mom is very patient and understanding. I'm really lucky, I guess.
That sounds wonderful. Do they get along well with each other?
Most of the time, yeah. They've been married for 32 years, and they still seem to genuinely enjoy each other's company. Though my mom sometimes gets frustrated because my dad is pretty disorganized and forgetful.
My parents are the opposite. My mom is the messy one, and my dad is extremely organized. He has a place for everything and gets annoyed when things aren't in their proper spot.
Does that create tension between them?
Sometimes, but they've learned to work around it over the years. My mom stays out of Dad's office, and he doesn't comment on her creative chaos in the kitchen. What's the best thing about your family gatherings?
Oh, definitely the food and the laughter. My mom makes these incredible Sunday dinners, and we all just sit around the table for hours, sharing stories and jokes. Emma usually brings her boyfriend, and he fits right in. What about yours?
Well, the food is amazing too. My mom is an excellent cook. But honestly, sometimes the conversations can be a bit tense. My dad asks a lot of personal questions, and my brother tends to be quite opinionated about politics.
Do you try to change the subject when that happens?
All the time. I've become an expert at redirecting conversations to safer topics, like movies or travel. What's something that annoys you about family visits?
I love them, but sometimes they treat me like I'm still 15 years old. My mom still asks if I'm eating enough vegetables, and my dad gives me advice about things I already know how to handle.
Oh, that's so relatable. My mom still reminds me to wear a jacket when it's cold outside. I'm 28.
Exactly. But I suppose it comes from a place of love, right?
Definitely. Even when my dad is being critical, I know he wants the best for me. He just shows it in a different way than my mom does.
That's a really mature way to look at it. Do you think you'll move closer to them someday?
Maybe eventually. I'd like my future kids to have a close relationship with their grandparents. What about you? Would you ever move away from your family?
I've thought about it, but honestly, I really value having them nearby, especially Emma. She's become one of my closest friends as we've gotten older.
That's beautiful. I hope my brother and I can develop that kind of relationship as we mature.
Wow, that was such a natural conversation between Sarah and Jake. I loved how they shared both the good and challenging aspects of their family relationships.
Absolutely. Did you notice how they use so many different words to describe their family members? Instead of just saying nice or good, they said things like supportive, laid back, and welcoming.
Exactly. And I think it's important to point out that they were honest about the difficulties, too. Sarah mentioned her dad being critical and her brother being stubborn. That's real life, right?
So true. Families aren't always easy, and it's okay to acknowledge that in English. Now, let me clarify some vocabulary that might have been new for our listeners.
Great idea. Let's start with laid back. When Jake described his parents as laid back, he meant they're relaxed and not stressed about small things.
Right. And reserved. When Sarah said her dad is reserved, she meant he doesn't show his emotions easily or talk much about his feelings.
Another useful phrase was, "It comes from a place of love." This means that even when someone's behavior seems annoying or critical, their intention is actually caring and loving.
I also want to mention old-fashioned. This describes someone who believes in traditional ways of thinking or doing things. Sarah's dad has traditional ideas about marriage and career choices.
And did everyone catch opinionated? That's when someone has strong views about many topics and isn't afraid to share them, like Sarah's brother with politics.
Another thing I loved was how they asked follow-up questions. They didn't just answer and move on. They showed genuine interest in each other's stories.
Speaking of stories, Are you ready for our next conversation? This one's going to be quite different.
Oh, yes. We're about to hear from two colleagues who are discussing their weekend family visits. But this time, you'll notice they focus more on specific family traditions and cultural differences.
That's right. While our first conversation was about getting to know someone's family, this second one explores how different families have their own unique customs and ways of spending time together.
You'll hear vocabulary related to traditions, celebrations, and family activities. Listen for words like ritual, customary, and heritage.
And pay attention to how they describe their feelings about these family traditions. Some they love, others they find a bit overwhelming or outdated.
This conversation will also show you how to talk about generational differences. You know, when older and younger family members have different values or interests.
So, get comfortable, grab your notebook if you like taking notes, and let's listen to Marcus and Elena discuss their recent family experiences.
Here we go.
Hey, Elena. How was your weekend? I know you mentioned visiting your grandparents.
Oh, it was wonderful, but exhausting. We had our monthly family gathering. You know how it is with big Italian families. What about you? Didn't you go to your cousin's wedding?
Yeah, I did. It was beautiful. Very traditional African ceremony. Lots of drumming, colorful clothing, and dancing that went on for hours. My feet are still sore.
That sounds amazing. I love how weddings really showcase family heritage. Our gatherings are more, well, let's just say they revolve around food and very loud conversations.
Food is central to our celebrations too. My aunt made her famous jollof rice, and there was this incredible dispute about whose recipe is the most authentic.
Oh my goodness, we have the same drama with pasta sauce. My grandmother insists her mother's recipe is the only correct one, but my aunt swears she's improved it over the years.
It's fascinating how food becomes such an important part of family identity, isn't it? Do you enjoy these big family events, or do they sometimes feel overwhelming?
Honestly, both. I love seeing everyone and feeling connected to our traditions, but sometimes the expectations are intense. Everyone wants to know about my love life, my career, when I'm having children.
I totally understand that. At the wedding, my relatives kept asking why I'm still single and suggesting daughters of their friends as potential wives. It's sweet, but also quite invasive.
Exactly. And then there are the traditional gender roles that some older family members still expect. Like, my grandmother automatically assumes I'll help in the kitchen while my male cousins watch football.
That's interesting. In my family, cooking is actually something everyone participates in, regardless of gender. But we definitely have other outdated expectations, like pressure to stay close to home instead of traveling for career opportunities.
Have you ever felt torn between respecting traditions and living your own life?
All the time. I deeply respect my cultural heritage and want to honor it, but some aspects feel restrictive. For instance, there's an expectation that I'll eventually move back to my hometown and take care of my aging parents.
That's such a difficult balance. I feel guilty sometimes because I've become less religious than my family, but I still attend Sunday dinners and religious holidays to maintain harmony.
Do you think it's possible to preserve the meaningful parts of tradition while letting go of the aspects that don't serve us anymore?
I hope so. I want to pass down the beautiful elements, the emphasis on family loyalty, the incredible recipes, the storytelling traditions, but maybe without the judgment and rigid expectations.
That sounds wise. What traditions do you definitely want to continue if you have your own family someday?
Definitely the Sunday family meals. There's something magical about gathering around the table, sharing stories, and having multiple generations together. Even though it can be chaotic, it creates such strong bonds.
I feel the same way about our storytelling tradition. My grandfather tells these incredible tales about our ancestors, and I worry that knowledge will disappear when the older generation is gone.
Have you thought about recording those stories? I've been encouraging my grandmother to write down her recipes and the stories behind them.
That's brilliant. I should definitely do that. Actually, my cousin has started learning traditional drumming patterns from our uncle. It's beautiful to see younger family members actively preserving these skills.
It gives me hope when I see that. Maybe our generation can be the bridge, keeping what's valuable while creating space for growth and change.
Absolutely. I think the key is open communication. Instead of just accepting or rejecting everything, we can have honest conversations about what traditions mean to us and why.
Yes. And hopefully, as we become the older generation, we'll remember what it felt like to feel judged or pressured, and we'll approach things differently.
Speaking of which, I should probably call my grandmother tonight. She always worries when she doesn't hear from me after family events.
Same here. My Nana will be expecting a detailed report about everyone I talked to and everything I ate.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, right?
Exactly. Some things never change, and maybe that's not entirely bad.
What a beautiful conversation. Marcus and Elena really showed us how complex family relationships can be, especially when culture and tradition are involved.
I loved how honest they were about feeling torn between honoring their heritage and living their own lives. That's something many of our listeners can relate to, regardless of their cultural background.
Absolutely. And did you notice the wonderful vocabulary they used? Words like heritage, authentic, invasive, and restrictive. These are exactly the kinds of words that help you express deeper thoughts about family relationships.
Yes, and they showed us different ways to talk about traditions. They used preserve, honor, maintain, and pass down, all fantastic verbs for discussing cultural customs.
I also want to highlight something important they demonstrated: how to disagree respectfully with family expectations while still showing love and respect. That's a valuable skill in any language.
So true. Now, let's review some of the most useful vocabulary from today's episode. First, let's talk about family relationships. Instead of just saying good or bad, you learned words like supportive, critical, laid back, and dramatic.
For describing frequency, remember these natural expressions: every couple of months, twice a month, every 6 weeks. These sound much more natural than saying sometimes all the time.
And when discussing traditions, you heard heritage, customary, ritual, and authentic. These words will help you talk about your own cultural background with confidence.
Don't forget the emotional vocabulary too. Words like overwhelming, invasive, torn, and restrictive help you express complex feelings about family situations.
Before we finish, here's your challenge for this week. Choose one family member and write 3 sentences describing their character using the vocabulary from today's episode. Don't just say, "My sister is nice." Try something like, "My sister is incredibly supportive, but she can be quite dramatic when things don't go her way."
That's a fantastic exercise. And here's another idea. Think about one family tradition you love and one that feels outdated to you. Practice explaining both using the vocabulary we've covered today.
Remember, talking about family isn't just about listing relationships. It's about sharing stories, expressing emotions, and connecting with others on a human level.
We hope this episode has given you the confidence to have deeper, more meaningful conversations about your family in English. These are the kinds of conversations that really help you bond with English speakers and show your personality. And if today's episode helped you, please share it with a friend who's also learning English. The best way to practice family vocabulary is by talking about it with others.
Next week, we'll be diving into another fascinating topic that's close to everyone's heart: friendships. We'll explore how to describe different types of friendships, talk about loyalty, trust, and even handle friendship challenges.
Until then, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember, every conversation is an opportunity to improve your English.
Take care, everyone, and we'll catch you next time on Max and Mia.
Bye for now.